Thank you for joining us on The Burning Question. The big admission this evening came in from Pakistan. The Pakistan Army Chief, 25 years after the Kargil War, has finally acknowledged his country's role in the Kargil War. For 25 years, Pakistan tried to lie to the world, saying that it was Mujahideen. They called them Mujahideen. They called them freedom fighters, while refusing to acknowledge the role of their army in the war. Finally, they've been forced to do it today.
Pro-Pakistan sympathizers must now come to terms with the most damning confession from none other than the Pakistani Army Chief himself.
1948, 1965, 1971 या कारगिल की पाक बहारत जंगे हों या सियाचिन का महाज, हज़ारों शहदा वतन की सलामती और हुर्मत की खातिर कुर्बान हुए। दहशतगर्दी के खिलाफ तवील और सब्र आज़मा गैर रवायती जंग में कुर्बानियों का सिलसिला आज भी जारी है।
First, they lied about the infiltration. Then they hid behind the facade of Mujahideens, claiming that their forces were merely patrolling. They even disowned their fallen soldiers, refusing to acknowledge the bodies of their own, leaving them to rot. 25 years later, Pakistan has been forced to admit their direct involvement. Pakistan now stands exposed, admitting that its forces were deeply entrenched in Kargil, violating India's territorial sovereignty. Let's not forget, back in 2013, even General Musharraf shamelessly admitted crossing the LOC during the 1999 Kargil War. Yet, despite these open confessions, the National Conference, PDP and Congress continue their dangerous pitch for dialogue with Pakistan.
हमारे लिए जम्मू कश्मीर एक जिंदा मसला है, एक इंसानी मसला है, जिसको जैसे हमने पहले भी उसके लिए एक नक्शा दिया मुफ्ती साहब के वक्त में बातचीत का, रिकंसिलिएशन का, यहाँ भी बाहर भी, मगर मैं कहती हूँ शुरुआत अपने घर से करनी चाहिए रिकंसिलिएशन की, क्योंकि जो यहाँ लोगों के ऊपर दबाव है, दोष है, उसको खत्म किया जाना चाहिए।
Your neighbors are not going to change. All you can do is try and change their attitudes towards you. Now, I'm not for a moment suggesting that we can slip into a dialogue right this moment. But if somebody can tell me there is an alternative to trying to normalize relations.
Time has come when there are two governments. There's a government in Pakistan. I think they are wanting to have peaceful atmosphere with us. Let's open the door to them. We are big brothers.
And if that isn't outrageous enough, listen to former Punjab CM Charanjit Channi suggesting we open our borders to treat Pakistan's soldiers.
ਬਾਗਾ ਬਾਰਡਰ ਨੂੰ ਖੋਲ ਕੇ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਇਸ ਪਾਸੇ ਦਾ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਹੂਲਤਾਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਰਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਆ ਕੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਤੋਂ ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਬਾਈ ਰੋਡ ਵੀ ਆ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਲਾਜ ਕਰਾਇਆ ਕਰਨਗੇ।
While the pro-Pak lobby drifts further away from Bharat's interests, the centre has drawn a hard line. There will be no dialogue with Pakistan.
वो कहते हैं हम पाकिस्तान से बात करेंगे। आज मैं कहकर जाता हूं, जब तक शांति नहीं होती पाकिस्तान से कोई बात नहीं होगी।
The question is, will NC, Congress and PDP finally wake up? Or will they continue to betray the nation in light of this explosive admission? The people of India demand answers.
Okay, I have Sanju Verma of the BJP joining us, Yasir Janjua, defense expert, joining us live from Pakistan. Yasir Janjua, it took you 25 years to acknowledge this. I mean, 25 years you refused to even recognize your own soldiers who sacrificed their lives for you. But why? Why have you taken so long to admit it?
Nobody in the entire world was under any illusion, my dear sir. In fact, Indians, you as a nation, first and foremost, you have yourself in your intro said it's line of control. It's not international border. So that distinction has to be made. But under what pretext did you cross the sovereign, and you in your intro said, oh, violated the sovereignty of India. It's line of control. So you don't have sovereignty over that line of control or in the area in your control. But in 1971, when your troops, 150,000 troops, crossed into a sovereign nation in one of our province, East Pakistan, you had no moral right, and you are till today shamelessly defending that.
But we
Right
have not.
now,
1 minute. Where have we ever denied? One second. We are proud of every military operation, sir. We don't deny. We don't insult. We don't leave our men.
No.
The bodies of our men back in foreign territory. 1 minute. General Bakshi is coming in. General Bakshi is coming in, sir.
3 years later that your statement is coming.
General Bakshi. No, we all heard
53 years
Musharraf's
later.
lies all along. You've forgotten what Musharraf said. General Bakshi is coming in. General, I'm coming to Sanju. I'm coming. General Bakshi, I just want to set the debate and then I'll come to you. General Bakshi.
All right, Major Janjua. Major Janjua, let me remind you. Major Janjua, let me remind you that you gave us the casus belli in 1971 to intervene. You killed 3 million Bangladeshis. Your soldiers raped 1 million Bangladeshi women, and they pushed 10 million refugees into India, and they refused to take them back, making your problem India's problem. And India kept on requesting
you do a one-on-one program with me. You do a one-on-one program with me and prove,
leaving no option
that
to
you,
India
what you are saying,
to
3
ensure
million
that
people
they go
killed.
back.
You
And let
prove
me
that.
also remind you that it was the Pakistani Air Force that struck the first blow on 3rd of December. You better check your facts, Major Janjua. You seem to be out of date. Let me remind you, I fought that war. I fought that war.
Yes, we know that you fought that
I took
war.
part in it. I don't know if
we
you
know
were
that. We know
born
that.
there.
You have told us many times. I am asking you, do a one-on-one program to me, prove that there were 3 million people killed. You should have a location of 3 million people's mass graves. If you can't prove that, then don't please make such accusations or statements that you can't corroborate. Don't, in your age, you should not make such hasty statements, such hearsay statements. Okay? So, talk about facts. 3 million
Have
people
you
killed.
read the
There should be some
Hamudur
mass graves.
Rahman Commission report? Major Janjua,
I am asking
just
you a
stop
simple
for a
question.
minute. Major Janjua, listen
Hasina
to me.
Wajid,
Have
from
you
last
read the
1 decade,
Hamudur
Hasina
Rahman
Wajid
Commission
was ruling.
report
You should have gone and found out
on what
some
your
mass
army
graves
did in
for 3 million
Bangladesh?
people.
Have you read that report? It is
Yes,
a
I have read that
Pakistani
report.
report. You
And
might
we
as
have
well
the-
read your own documents
Yes.
before you
We
talk
can
on
write
Indian
such
television.
reports. Indian Army would never write a report accepting responsibility. Today, on the 7th of September, you are sitting on the day when there was a war that was initiated or launched by India in 1965, and we gave you a befitting reply.
Oh God,
My dear friend,
don't talk
you-
about befitting
you-
reply. Excuse
have
me.
you got wax in your
Excuse me.
ears?
Yes.
Have you-
Yes, I'm excusing
No,
you.
1 minute. Talking
Have
about
you
befitting
forgotten
reply.
MMR?
Sir, let's talk about Kargil War. Befitting reply, let's talk about Kargil War. 1 minute. Janjua, Mr. Janjua, 1
Forget your
minute.
replies.
1 minute. Don't just keep...
Firstly, you should
कुछ भी बोलते हैं आप लोग, एक minute. I'm getting in.
Hamudur Rahman
Sir, 1 minute.
Commission
No, 1 minute.
report,
Sir,
which was
stop
written by
daydreaming,
a
sir.
Pakistani judge
Sir, 1 minute.
on the atrocities
Yeah.
and failures
Tell Bakshi, I'm getting in Sanju
of your
Verma, she hasn't
army
spoken.
in Bangladesh.
I'm getting in Sanju Verma, sir. 1 minute. Just with your permission, I'm getting in Sanju Verma. She hasn't spoken. Yes, Sanju. Sanju wants to respond to Janjua.
I just have this to say. I think Major General Bakshi has actually set the tone of the debate by calling out the bluff of Mr. Janjua. But I would just like to add one thing here, Niranjan. Be it 1948, be it 1971, be it the Kargil War of 1999, or for that matter, the Pulwama attack of 2019, it has always been Pakistan which has been the aggressor, the perpetrator, the provocateur. And then, of course, India has retaliated. And how? We never attack. But if we are attacked, हम घर के अंदर घुसकर मारना भी जानते हैं. Don't forget that in the surgical strike of 2016, more than 30 terror launch pads of Pakistan were demolished. In the Balakot strike, which was in retaliation to the Pulwama attack of 2019, Indian forces went deep into the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa area and demolished terror launch pads of Pakistan. And I just want to ask one thing to Mr. Janjua. Why is it that you mollycoddle the Indian opposition? Why is it that when Farooq Abdullah says that the POK problem can only be solved by getting China into the equation, Pakistan starts applauding Farooq Abdullah? When Manishankar Iyer goes to Pakistan and says, "Inhe hataiye, hame lekar aiye," in an obvious reference that let Narendra Modi be removed and let Congress be restored back to power, the Pakistani forces and the establishment starts applauding. When the likes of a Shashi Tharoor, a senior Congress leader, goes to the Karachi Lit Fest in Pakistan and undermines the credibility of our armed forces, the entire Pakistani military establishment starts, तालियां बजाने लगते हैं Shashi Tharoor के लिए. My limited point is this. Today, Pakistan is an economy which is completely destroyed. Your size of GDP is less than $300 million. And our entire forex reserves are close to $682 billion. We can buy 2 or 3 Pakistans and
why
still
are
have
you
some
bothered
change
by
there,
our GDP?
which we can hand over to you.
Why are
So
you
my
getting
simple
sleepless nights
logic
because
is
of our
this.
GDP? What
Be
is
it
it got?
the Mumbai terror
What is it got to
attack
do
of
with you?
26/11, be it the Malegaon blast, be it the Samjhauta Express blast, be it the Chinnaswamy Stadium blast of 2010, be it
Samjhauta
the
Express,
Pune
you have the
Bakery blast of
audacity to talk about
2010,
Samjhauta.
be it the
You have the
Batla House
audacity to talk
encounter
about
of
Samjhauta
2008. The telltale signs always point to one terror nation, the mothership of
Right.
terror called Pakistan.
Right.
How is it
Yes.
that you get
And we know
embroiled in
that.
every terror
And that
attack
terrorist
and then
nation,
you
we
want
know-
to play
we know the name
holier
of that
than thou
terrorist nation,
attitude
and
with
that is
India?
India. That
Mr.
is
Janjua, I request you,
Not
Mr.
buying
Janjua,
your
please don't
BS
speak over her,
anymore.
sir. Sir, please don't speak over her. I'll tell you why, sir. Because I'll tell you, sir, there is a context to this debate.
I
Sir,
would
one minute.
also request
Mr.
that
Janjua,
we
1 minute.
have this
Hear me out.
similar
Hear the
amount.
question, sir. Be a little patient. There is a context to this debate. For 25 years, no Pakistani head of state or army chief has gone on record to acknowledge the role of Pakistan soldiers, saying that they were ours. Because there was once a coward called Musharraf who passed away at the age of 79, on the run from his own country, once the head of his country,
Now,
who
I'm not
called them
interrupting because
Mujahideen.
There's somebody sitting here.
No, 1 minute.
There is somebody sitting here.
No, 1 minute.
Who asked a question to
What?
Mr. Musharraf
I'm
in
asking
Delhi,
you, sir.
And the answer he got, he should tell him.
No, 1 minute.
That's on the YouTube, all over the YouTube.
1 minute. Yeah, he said it was Mujahideen. I mean, am I making up this story, General Bakshi? Am I making up this story? They didn't even acknowledge their own men. They said they were Mujahideen.
Okay, hold on.
It was such
Can
a
you- if you were
harebrained.
so
It was
good at
such a
statistics-
harebrained operation that people in Pakistan, retired generals in
You know-
Pakistan,
you
called
know,
it a
I
harebrained
was-
operation.
Listen. Just
They
you are so
refuse
good at
to
statistics.
take their
How
dead
many Indian
bodies
soldiers
back.
were killed in that Kargil? How many Indian soldiers were killed in Kargil?
They refuse to
General Bakshi,
take
1
their
minute.
You
dead
won't give me
bodies
that.
back of their own soldiers.
No. If we refused, we wouldn't have given Nishane-e-Haider to Lalak Jan and Captain Colonel Sher Khan. Keep this in mind. I was there in that war.
We had
If
to
we
bury
refused,
them and
we
do
would
their
not have
last
given-
rites.
Oh, listen. If we refused and if we did not acknowledge,
That is the
what you are now
magnanimity of
claiming,
the Indian
we would-
army. We acknowledge a
we-
person if he is brave, even if he is an enemy. Have you ever done that?
So-
You have tortured
So
our
we-
prisoners to
no,
death.
If
You know,
we did not own the
what did you
soldiers,
do to
if we
Saurabh
did not
Kalia?
own the soldiers,
What did you
how
do
would
to
we give
Captain
them
Saurabh
Nishane-e-Haider?
Kalia? When we got his body back, there were cigarette
should
burn
not be
marks all over the body.
You are supposed
Every
to return
bone in
53
the body had been
Indian
broken.
prisoners of war.
As far as
They were
magnanimity,
The Indian government
as far as
returned
magnanimity,
93,000
gouging
Pakistani
marks.
prisoners of war.
And we
But you did
asked
not
you,
have
how
the
did it
decency
happened?
to even return
You said it was the wild
53
animals.
Indian prisoners of war.
Wild animals
to have a
don't
shouting
smoke
match,
cigarettes.
if you want to have a shouting
Major
match,
Janjua.
I am quite capable of doing this. I alone can tackle you three very
Sir, okay.
conveniently.
Hello.
But it's not going to work
Yeah,
like
please,
that.
I mean,
if
sir.
you want to, if you let me talk, then that's fine. Otherwise, I can have
Today you are a
general-
country which
one
only
minute.
exports
Mr. Janjua.
donkeys.
Mr. Janjua, 1 second. 1 second.
You're a country
You
which
always
is on
say
the
one
brink
minute.
of
Please let me
bankruptcy.
factually. 1 minute. Janjua,
You have
Janjua.
been on the grey list.
No, I want to ask him. I want to ask him what is. No, I want to ask Janjua what is.
The grey list of the FATF.
1 minute. I want to ask Janjua. Sanju, I want to ask Janjua what was factually wrong.
And you're sitting here and giving
Sanju.
lectures to
Sanju,
India.
I want to ask him what is factually wrong in what General Bakshi said. The manner in which our soldiers were tortured, mutilated, right? And contrast that to the treatment that we gave to your soldiers who lost their lives fighting your war, whom you called Mujahideen, whom you refused to even acknowledge or take their bodies back.
Listen, Mr. Host, listen. If you just sit here on the television and say whatever, mutilated and whatever, I've asked you a simple question.
Arey boss,
How many
25 years
casualties-
later you still have doubts about what happened.
I have asked you a simple question. Why can't you ask General Bakshi to answer, or you answer this?
Okay, you
How
ask
many
him.
casualties India had? How many casualties in 99 India had? Just give me the number of casualties. And
General
see the
Bakshi.
Pakistani casualties. It's crystal clear.
General Bakshi is asking how many, he's asking the question about casualties, General Bakshi.
527. 527.
Really? And how many?
No, I'm
Pakistani-
telling you 527.
Agreed.
Precise.
Okay, 527. And how many Pakistanis?
Pakistanis
Precise
over
casualty figure we are
4,000.
giving you. You tell
Right,
us
this is
what
where
did
your-
you do?
this is where your
How many
hypocrisy comes in.
casualties did your
You-
5 battalions of the Northern Light Infantry have? Just
This is
because
where
they
your
were Shia
hypocrisy comes
troops,
in.
you
This is
refused
where
to
your
take back their body.
You were
Even
given a
in
dressing
that
down
Gilgit-Baltistan
and you went
area,
begging to
they
the
were
United
buried at the
Nations.
dead of life, dead
And you
of
went
night,
begging-
like
you went
criminals.
begging to the United
Like
States.
criminals.
Oh, please
That is
stop
how
this
you
war.
misused them.
This is
You
exactly
sent
what
them
you did in 1948.
against the Geneva
This is what you
Convention
did in
in
1948.
civilian clothes. We were
Jan
justified in
Jan
shooting
Sahab,
them all as spies.
हौसला करें.
All right?
Jan Sahab, हौसला
You
करें.
send them in civil
ऊंचा
clothes
बोलने से बात
to
नहीं
fight
बनेगी.
your valley war.
ऊंचा बख्शी साहब ऊंचा
You
ऊंचा बोलना
tried to
मुझे आपसे
create
बहुत ज़्यादा
radio
आता है.
deception traffic with
1948
the
में-
Pashtun,
1948 में
tape,
दो
the recordings.
भागे थे.
You tried
went
to
the
tell us
United
that,
Nations
tried to tell the
begging
world that
for
they
a
were
ceasefire.
Mujahideen.
1965
We got
में you
the
went
dead
begging for a
bodies of your
ceasefire.
soldiers. They had their identity
1999
cards.
में
No, I don't get his point.
Check your facts, Major.
No,
Janjua.
I didn't
you
get his
must
point,
check
General
your
Bakshi.
facts.
I
can't go
don't get his
into
point
grand
because
denials.
we have
Right?
acknowledged.
I
One
mean,
minute,
it
I
would
don't
be
understand his
worthwhile
point
talking
because
to you
we have
if you had
acknowledged the
at least
numbers.
studied the subject.
We have acknowledged the
You wanted to
numbers.
know how many casualties we had?
Yeah,
I'm telling you 527.
Yeah, what?
How
Yeah, we
many
had casualties.
did
We've
you have?
acknowledged them. We've honored them.
Okay.
What is your
First of
question?
all, your casualties were not 527. There were more than 1,000.
Oh, God.
Secondly, you are making up.
No, 1 minute.
Hello.
Hello. We're not Pakistan. We are not
Yes.
Pakistan.
And that's why.
No,
know
we are not Pakistan.
That you are liars.
We
know you are
honor
liars.
our soldiers. We don't disown them. We are not Pakistan. 1 minute,
Right,
please.
right.
So don't cook up
Define
stories.
casualties.
Mr. Janjua,
We know
you
that.
lost
We
the
know that.
Pakistan lost the war.
Wounded.
It's okay. You lost the war. It's okay. It's fine.
May I come
Life
in?
goes on. Okay,
Really?
you lost the war.
Who went to the? Who
You
went
lost
to
the war.
US begging?
No,
Who went to Brussels? Who went to Brussels?
Who
and
went
America
begging? Oh God, you go begging to
I need to come
the
in
Middle
here,
East, you
Niranjan.
go begging to America, you go begging to Europe every week. We
I
report
come
that
in
on our
here?
channels. What are you talking about? Who went begging? You
Why
want me to
are
tell you, give you a list of countries you've gone
We
begging
go
to for
beg
funds?
everybody.
Calm down.
We go every.
You
we
went
Sanju.
go beg
begging to
everybody
Washington.
May I come in here,
Exactly.
Niranjan?
Yes, Sanju. I'm getting in Sanju.
Who made Nawaz Sharif wait
Sanju.
for a bloody week?
Sanju, I'm getting in Sanju right now.
Yeah, I just want to make a few very important points. You know, Major Janjua said, India goes to the United States with a begging bowl. Niranjan, I just want to lay bare a couple of points for his benefit to
Yes.
educate him. You know, Mr. Janjua, the size, as I said, of your entire economy is $300 billion. We are close to a $4 trillion economy. Your forex reserves are $8 billion. Our forex reserves are more than $682 billion. Your annual exports are $39 billion. Our Monthly exports are $39 billion.
Please don't.
You are such a huge country.
You can't compete with them on donkey exports. No. Sanju, you can't compete with them on donkey exports.
$4 billion.
Sanju, what is the donkey exports number?
Is on the verge of bankruptcy.
What about the donkey exports?
It's the world's 5th largest economy, having overtaken the United Kingdom.
Okay.
By
What is the external
2027,
debt of
we will
India?
become the world's 4th largest
show you.
No,
economy.
you asked for numbers. Janjua, you asked for numbers.
We will be the world's
I
4th
did not.
largest
Janju, you asked
He's
for
giving me
numbers.
the numbers. I have not asked for a comparison.
You asked for numbers. No, she's giving you numbers. Take some numbers. Take some numbers.
We have never compared our economy with
Take some numbers. No. You wanted numbers. She's giving you numbers.
The comparison is where the comparison is. Where the comparison is. That's
the size of
talk about
almost
that.
$4
This is a
trillion.
program about.
There's no comparison.
Forget about the economy right
There's no
now.
comparison, sir. I'm sorry. Sir, we were having a decent debate. 1 minute, Sanju, I have to tell him we were having a decent debate. No, I asked, we were having a decent debate. We were talking about the Kargil War. We were talking about the statements made on record. We were talking about the denials for 25 years. We were talking about why Pakistan for 25 years refused to accept its own. On record, no Pakistani head of state or Pakistani army chief has had the basic courtesy to accept your own soldiers.
Waste your time on the same question in this program.
No,
Be my guest.
No, you diverted that question. You diverted the subject.
More than 1,000 soldiers were killed in the Kargil War. I can say more than 8,000 Pakistanis were killed in the Kargil War. So please,
Arey, you give Nishane Haidar to even Kasab, yaar.
and data at our face.
Chalo, okay.
We at least did not give Mahavir Chakra to
the unconditional aggressor, perpetrator, provocateur. Unfortunately or fortunately for Pakistan, it has lost every war that it has fought against India. That is the hard truth.
You admitted Lalak Jan Shaheed and Captain Colonel Sher Khan's
Sir,
bravery
आप कटोरा
and
लेकर
citation
जाते हो।
was written
Americans के पास।
by the Indian Brigade commander.
आप
Because
कटोरा लेकर
people
जाते हो
acknowledge how
चाइनीज के
very
पास।
gallantly they fight.
आप कटोरा लेकर जाते हो
What?
यूरोपियन यूनियन के पास। भीख मांगते हो आप कि हमें $2 बिलियन दे दीजिए। We are on the verge of bankruptcy. हमें $4 बिलियन दे दीजिए। We have a debt of more than $300 billion.
Now you are
ये तो आपकी हालत है।
diverging.
कटोरा लेकर तो आप जाते हो।
Major Janjua, you raised the issue of Indian soldiers sending almost a citation of one of your officers who had died bravely.
Okay.
This shows the essential difference between Indian and Pakistani army. We respect the brave. You
Okay.
torture prisoners.
Bakshi Saab, this was the writing on the
torture
wall.
prisoners
You
to
couldn't
death.
afford hide.
You burn them with
You couldn't
cigarettes.
afford hide that.
You gouge their eyes out with venom.
I'm leaving it at that. I'm leaving it at that.
We behave like gentlemen.
Jal Bakshi, we have so many Jal Bakshi and Sanju Verma, we have so many India-Pakistan debates. Today is a Saturday. It's Ganesh Chaturthi here. We're all very happy. It's a festive atmosphere. And to all the Hindus, or if there are any Hindus left in Pakistan, we wish them, Ganesh Chaturthi, Ganapati Bappa Moria as well, to them as well. But, we felt we should have this debate because it's only once in 25 years that Pakistan admits officially its role in Kargil War. I mean, it takes something to do that. But I must say, thank you. You should thank your army chief for having the spine to at least do that. I don't know whether he will remain the army chief for long, but thank you very much for joining us on the debate. Sanju Verma, Jal Bakshi and Yasir Janjua. With that, we've come to the end of the burning question. We'll keep our focus on Manipur because in Manipur, the situation is escalating. It has escalated and there are emergency meetings. There is an emergency atmosphere there. Public emergency declared after rocket attacks were reported. Keeping a close track on that story. Stay tuned.